to the channel if you've been here before, and welcome if you've never been here before. Happy to have you. I am here today to discuss the season finale, episode 8, season 1 of The L Word Generation Q, what could possibly happen, where we think we're going to be by the end of the episode, and just what's going to go on in general on Sunday. So the episode is called Lapse in Judgment. Showtime has released a little summary that is as follows. Tensions run high on election night as Bette and Danny await the results. Shane and Kiara go through their most difficult challenge yet, and Alice takes a swing on her show. Meanwhile, Sophie and Danny consider another big step in their relationship. Finley is forced to stop running from her past and confront her feelings, and Micah is dealt an unexpected bombshell about Jose. Season finale. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack, a little tiny bit about each character. We hopefully are finally going to find out if Bette wins or loses the mayoral race. And there's also a fair amount of screenshots that they released from this episode that I will play throughout the video in the B-roll. I'm going to start with the new Generation Q cast and then move into the OGs. So the main couple for Generation Q, Sophie and Danny. Sophie and Finley, who are friends, actually kissed last episode. Danny still doesn't know about that. In this episode, we're going to find out if Sophie tells Danny, if Danny finds out. One of the clips that Showtime has released, Danny is saying to Sophie, basically, they're already engaged, but let's get married, I'm assuming that day, or, you know, the week or something. Does Sophie confess it to Danny? Does she walk in? Is there a situation like have Tina find out about Bette? You know, she kind of saw her touching her hand and knew, because we know those sort of things, don't we? So I'm really interested to see how they play it out. I do have a thought about what might happen, but I'm gonna wrap that into the Bette and Danny in a minute. Finley also apparently has to confront her demons. It looks like she has had a lot of struggles. She clearly is dependent, whether you classify her as an alcoholic or not, I don't know, but she's definitely having some sort of dependent relationship with alcohol. And she also seems to not be on the greatest terms with her family. In one of the episodes, we heard her sister, I can't remember whether it was a wedding shower or a baby shower, but her sister was having one when she called her dad, and her dad seemed to be like rushing her off the phone as if he didn't want anyone to know that he was on the phone to her. I mean, she didn't even know it was her sister's, I think it was wedding shower. So that, to me, there's obviously, you know, something going on in her family, some sort of rift. And she also seems to have major issues with religion, but appears to have grown up in a religious household or religious background. So hopefully, I mean, obviously the best thing would be if she got some sort of therapy or support, or goes to a group or anything, that she, you know, I'm in a way kind of hoping Tess takes her under her wing a little bit, because Tess seems to have worked her way through her struggles. Okay, yes, she's had a relapse, but she's gone back to AA and seems to be, you know, moving on the right way and working on herself. I'd like to see Tess back on the show too. I think Jamie, I think it's Clayton is the actress's name. It'd be great to have her on the show next season. Micah and Jose, they haven't had a huge amount of screen time. Last episode, they got a little bit of story with Micah's mom coming into town. The episode before, they weren't in it at all, but it says Jose drops some sort of bombshell, which apparently no couple is going to be happy on the L Word anymore, because Micah and Jose were probably, well, no, definitely the most stable couple. I mean, they're the only ones not cheating on each other. They're the only ones that they're not coming into town and destroying their ex-wife. They're not secretly getting impregnated, and they're not having a throuple and then going back into a relationship with their ex-wife. So yeah, they were a pretty solid couple. This bombshell, who knows? I mean, when I read that, the first thing I thought was, is he in a relationship? Is this another throuple situation? Does he have a kid? Obviously, it could be a million things, but it'll be interesting to find out, because in the trailer, the previews, and in the screenshots that they've released for this episode, they seem like they're at some sort of art event or something, and they seem all, you know, cuddled up and happy. So maybe it'll be some sort of cliffhanger or whatever we find out. I'm going to talk about the OGs now. So Alice and her show, judging by, again, the still images released for this, there's one of Sophie and that guy, I can't even remember his name now because they keep calling him the guy on Alice's show, and it kind of looks like they're backstage going, oh my god. So Alice, this is her last show of the season. She needs a viral hit because her show's on the bubble, they keep saying. I think that maybe there might be some sort of bet angle that this is with whatever viral video that they get that works out, but I'm hoping that it works out for Alice and she gets another season on her show, since we've got another season of The L Word, because Alice needs a win after this whole Nat Gigi mess. Another thing I'd be really interested in to see is, I don't expect to see Nat and Gigi in this episode the way things finished last episode. And after going back and because I watched the episode a few times, obviously, to do the review, and I watched it again last night, and the way that Alice slams the chair into the table is just like, petty queen, love you, it's amazing. But Nat and Gigi, I do kind of hope they come back next season. I really like Gigi and the actress who plays her. She seems like a really great person, and they're also both beautiful. So I'd really like to see them back next season, but I don't know how that would kind of work when they didn't really develop any sort of relationship with anyone outside of Alice. So how would they bring them in, really, unless they continue to be friends, or, you know, like the way Alice and Bette had a thing, but they're still friends. But it's a different circumstances, obviously, because Bette and Alice were together for like 6 weeks, and Nat and Alice were very serious, so we'll see what happens there. Shane and Kiara, shockingly, secret pregnancies and being technically divorced does not a happy home make. So they're having an argument, and Kiara saying that Shane wasn't honest from the beginning, and I think Shane was pretty clear from the beginning. That's obviously why you had to go and behind her back and get pregnant while you were also sending her divorce papers. So I do like both of the characters, obviously, and Shane has always been one of the best friends on the show. She always has been there for everyone and stuck up for them, but I don't know how this relationship is going to survive. I mean, obviously they love each other, but if Kiara can't be happy or fulfilled without having a child, and Shane so clearly does not want to be a parent, there's only so far they can go, especially now that Kiara's pregnant. I have a feeling that towards the end of the episode that Kiara might disappear, and I'm sure she'll be back next season at some stage because she's been a very popular character, but it wouldn't surprise me if they weren't together at the end of the episode. So Bette, poor Bette. What? I still, it's been, you know, nearly a week now, and obviously in my reviews and my trailer breakdowns, I expressed how amazing I thought Jennifer Beals' performance was, how she just needs all the awards right now. I mean, she's been amazing from the beginning, but she was just so brilliant in that scene especially. And a lot of people agree. All I've read this week is people saying how amazing she was, from fans to, you know, people reviewing and critiquing the show, just how brilliant she was. Every little subtle thing, I just thought it was absolutely brilliant when she went in and she started pouring the white wine into the red wine glass. It was like desperate times. But Bette's obviously at the end of her campaign. She needs a win. Like, please, Bette needs to be mayor. She has to get some sort of positivity in her life after she's just been absolutely knocked into next week with this news and had her heart shattered. So I really think that it wouldn't be too difficult for them to incorporate the character to being mayor. And obviously, it would be a really big deal to have an openly lesbian mayor of LA, even if it isn't a TV show. So I really hope that happens. It really could go either way. And the only, obviously, we are now seeing, especially last week in that coffee shop scene, we see Danny and Bette are obviously very, very alike. And they're, I feel like Bette is, you know, a good mentor to Danny and kind of help, you know, when she was giving her saying, you know, please, and people can hear you and things, she's trying to give her the best advice that maybe she wished she got. And I have a feeling that maybe Danny either finds out about Sophie or about Sophie and Finlay, or there's some sort of situation where Danny is going to step back from the relationship, and Bette kind of will use her own relationship as an example and say, listen, I lost, as she called her, the love of my life, the woman I loved beyond measure. I lost her because of, you know, all the reasons that Tina listed in the kitchen scene in the first episode that Tina came back, episode 6, and try and give Danny some advice on how not to be 100% focused on work and like looking to your partner for decisions and choices, and not just being the complete person in control all the time. And I mean, I've said this in a previous video, I have a really hard time going with what the writers are saying with the Bette and Tina thing, because if this was Bette and Tina, that Bette never cheated and they had continued to be in a relationship since season 1 of the original, yes, I could believe the kitchen scene that they had in episode 6. Yes, I can believe all these things that she said to Angie, Tina said to Angie, but that's not the characters we saw in season 5 and season 6. So unless, you know, 10 years is a long time, things could have happened. But that's why I think Bette did learn to lean on Tina and to look to her sometimes. And we'll see. I think that Bette will be able to help Danny a lot that way. The one thing that possibly stands in that way is the negative ad campaign about Bette Porter will sleep with your wife. And that should be some sort of tag for the season, or, you know, on like a poster for the show. But a lot of people, I've seen it on my Facebook group and Reddit, that there's a lot of people shipping Bette and Danny, and I mean, they're both great. I'm sure be a good couple, but, well, no, I'm not sure they'd be a good couple. They're both just so alike. Like, I feel like it would be that scene where they are talking about Bette and Helena and saying how that would never work because they're too similar. So if something were to happen with Danny, and I think it's a big if, because please, I think that Bette's learned and grown after all these years, but you never know. I think that it would be either they lost the race and they're having their whiskey and drowning their sorrows, or they mixed red and white wine, and Bette's still upset about Tina and everything, and she just sleeps with Danny to, like, the whole Nadia thing, it was just a moment of weakness, or they win, get caught up in the moment kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't imagine they're gonna go and have some fully formed relationship by any means, but it definitely still could happen. So we will have to tune in and see what happens with our poor Bet and dear Danny. So overall, I think Kiara's gonna go. I think Bet's gonna win. I think Danny is gonna find out about Sophie and Finley somehow. Maybe that's the cliffhanger we're left on for the end of the season. Finley, they're going to begin to explain her past and what's going on there. Jose is going to obviously make this reveal. Alice is going to have some sort of viral video, obviously, and I'm sure most of the events over episode 8 are going to take place throughout the night when the election results are coming in for Bette's mayoral race. If you have any predictions for what's going to happen, even just what you want to happen, don't want to happen, are you interested in Danny and Bette getting together? Please comment down below. If you like this video, please give it a like. And if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who has watched, liked, commented, subscribed, sent me messages on Instagram, DMs. It's been so amazing talking to you all, and I just really enjoy it. It really, I can't thank you all enough. My social media is the.ash.silver on Instagram if you want to follow me over there. I always post L-word content and when my videos are up. And also, if you'd like to be entered into a draw to win some L-word merchandise, please just be a subscriber and comment on any of my L-word videos, including this one. I hope you're all looking forward to the season finale on Sunday. Make sure to tune in to Showtime so that we can get the best ratings possible, so we can get even more seasons of the L-word. Check back here on Sunday once you've watched the episode so we can get all our thoughts out, and I'm sure a lot of feelings. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.